Hi, this is Kay Cooney, and this is a redo of Aroma Freedom Technique and the Aroma Reset. So I just did this in a Zoom call, and I forgot to hit the record button. So I'm going to go through this again because I think it really is important and of great value for folks. And I am going to take you through first the Aroma Reset Technique and then Aroma Freedom. So the Aroma Reset Technique is a technique that has been designed to address sort of the day-to-day frustrations that we have, issues with coworkers, struggles with your kids, your husband, different things like that. Sort of your low-level everyday stuff, the sitting through traffic, things that just really annoys us. And this is just a really simple technique that anybody can use throughout the course of the day. It's short and it's sweet. So in order to use this technique, we use oils that are from the Young Living Premium Starter Kit, frankincense, lavender, and stress away. And it is because the combination of the chemical components of those have been researched extensively in removing and replacing memories that are in our limbic system. So our limbic system is the part of our brain that is very primitive. It is common to all mammals. It is designed to protect us, to remember things that happened to us once, so we learn from them and we don't repeat those mistakes again. But it also records everything. So things that may not be a threat to us, things that we don't need to be remembering, all of that all still gets kept in our limbic brain. So this is a way to start sort of removing some of the things we don't need, and unlearning them. So when we smell something and something is committed to memory, what's interesting is that it's completely unconscious. So when you associate something with a smell and it is then mapped in your brain to a memory, that's not something that you consciously do, right? So there's all sorts of different experiments that have gone on that are so relevant to this. They did school children blindfolded and gave them, blocked their nose, blindfolded them, and gave them a bite of an apple and a bite of an onion, and they weren't able to tell the difference. There's another study where they took school-age children, and there was one group of plants that the kids were instructed to go by every day and say wonderful, positive things to the plants. And then there was another group of plants that they were supposed to go and tell them that they were horrible plants, miserable plants. And lo and behold, those plants that got the positive affirmations thrived, and those that got the negative died off. This is a technique about anchoring affirmations and about anchoring our sense of smell, which is so primitive but so very powerful, and using it in a way that we can make real differences in our mood throughout the course of the day. None of us want to be negative. None of us wanted to get up and not be the best version of ourselves, but life happens, right, all day long. So let's talk a little bit about first starting with the reset technique, which again is about getting through the misery of the day. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to please think of a current situation that feels overwhelming, frustrating, or in some way confusing to you, something that provides some sort of an angst. And I want you to try and clearly picture this in your head. Okay? Take some time and do that. And when you think about this situation, there's a feeling that goes along with it. So let's name the feeling and either put it down on paper or say it out loud. So are you feeling regret? Is it hate? Is it fear? Is it anger, shame, guilt, sadness? Let's try and put a name to it. So find that one word that describes how you feel: lonely, fearful. And when you're ready and you have a name for it, and if you've named the feeling, right, you want to really get this down to one word, name the feeling. I want you to pay attention in your body as to where you feel that. Locate the feeling in your body. So you might find that the backache that you have just got worse. You might carry it in your neck or in your shoulders. You may feel it in your upper chest. You might feel it in your body. I find it fascinating that when it's with things with my kids, I feel it very much in my chest. When it's stuff with my business, I feel it in my belly. So pay attention to where you're feeling it. Okay. So now you've thought of your situation, you've given it an emotion, you've figured out where you're feeling it in your body. Now comes the not so fun part. Identify the negative thought, right? So think back to the cartoons when you were a kid with the good angel and the bad angel on each shoulder. What's the negative thought connected to this feeling? Some examples might be, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not thin enough. So go ahead and identify that negative thought. Now we're going to use our oils. And there's a reason why we use the Young Living essential oils. And it's because they are 100% pure. So if we are looking to inhale something and directly pull it into our brain, we really want to make sure that we're using the highest quality oils possible. And that's what we're getting with Young Living. So either pre-mix up a batch when you're going to do this. So I love the idea of taking those tiny bottles that are in your starter kit and putting in equal amounts of frankincense, lavender, and stress away so that you have this mix with you and can put it in your purse or your pocket and have it with you throughout the day. But you're going to take a mix of the lavender, stress away, and frankincense, 1 drop of each. We're going to circle our hands, and we're going to do the scent tent, the Lindsay Gramont scent tent. Inhale deeply. Take your time. And while you're focusing on the situation, the feeling, the body sensation, the negative thought, pay attention to what starts to happen to the picture of the situation and how you feel. Right? This is about slowing down and paying attention to your body. Now, hopefully what's happened is that you immediately have a shift, a different perspective. You see it differently. It feels more positive. It feels less irksome, less bothersome. And if it does, you're good. You're back to business. Get on with your day in a more calm, relaxed mood. But if you find that you're still feeling that this is pretty bothersome, you might want to take it up to a notch to the Aroma Freedom technique, or you can try repeating this one more time. And again, if you've already pre-mixed, say 3 or 4 drops of frankincense with the stress away and the lavender, you've got your little Aroma Freedom kit, if you will, ready to go. And the beauty of mixing them beforehand and doing this technique, so frankincense is a synergistic oil, so giving it time to mix and intermingle with the stress away as well as the lavender, you're getting the best of all of them. The other piece with the stress away is it's the vanilla, the vanillin in the vanilla in the stress away that makes it an important feature in doing this technique, and that's where the research has been done. And one of our good friends, Regina, did a lot of time deconstructing stress away and was talking about how beautifully balanced it is with all the different elements, earth, fire, water, air, and that when Gary put these together, he really did know what he was doing. Okay, so that's Aroma Reset. And if you would like me to send you one of these to have for yourself, please just let me know. I'm really happy to do so. I think that these techniques are important. I think that as we're on our journey and getting healthier and detoxifying our lives, our environment, doing great things for ourselves, if we don't take the time to clear out the junk, we don't make real progress. And I'm very much vested in my folks in making real progress. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the Aroma Freedom Technique. And all of these are the work of Dr. Benjamin Purkis. He is a licensed psychologist. He has been doing behavioral interventions, tapping different techniques for many, many years, and finally got all of this into books and is organizing and getting it out there and sharing. And the point of all of this is really to have a technique that is so simple, so doable, that I can teach you, right? I'm not a psychiatrist, not even close. I am not a mental health coach. No way, Jose. I am just Jenny on the block learning to take care of my own stuff. And so these techniques that I'm showing you tonight, these really are techniques that you can turn around and teach your husband, your kids, co-workers. This is not meant to be private domain. This is a shared technique, and I very, very, very much value that. So professionally, I've been in the hospice world for about 25 years, and one of the things that frustrated me to no end is who had end-of-life discussions with people was always like a hot potato. Either everybody wanted it or nobody wanted it. I am all about, I think we will progress and grow as humans and as a society when we are taking away the power of the authority, right? Duplicatable, replicatable, making things so simple that any of us can do them successfully. And this really is about a technique that can be done successfully. Okay, by anybody. So let's get to Aroma Freedom Technique. So when will we use this? So what happened along the way when we stopped making goals for ourselves and sort of accepted mediocrity? And I was really blessed to wake up and leave my job last October. And it really was one of those aha moment, rip the Band-Aid off. So I have definitely been on a journey. And I get that it's not easy. And I get that it's hard to start. So this technique is all about setting goals and about demanding the best life possible for yourself and not being afraid to stick your face in the beehive of life and figure it all out. So this technique we're going to use for setting goals. And so I strongly recommend that you start a notebook when you're doing this and chart your own progress and realize that every time we sort of set a goal and we meet it, it's time to set another one. I'm at that point right now where I'm ready to set more goals. I'm enjoying and I'm fascinated by what I've learned about myself with this crazy little simple technique. And so I feel really passionate about sharing it with the other people that I care about. I mean, it's that cut and dry. So let's set some goals, people. Let's do this. And if you need help with staying on track with your goals, let me know. I will set up a system of texting you, emailing you, reaching out to you. All of us appreciate as we're making change in our life, sort of that positive confirmation, reaffirmation, support. We truly all are in this together. The page is named Lakeview Young Living for the Perfectly Imperfect. I don't shoot for perfect anymore. I shoot for a better version than what I was yesterday and hope to always achieve that. You know, if I can just get up a little bit more incrementally, I'm pretty happy. And I get a lot of support from all of the folks on my page. And I really enjoy supporting others and watching their lives sort of evolve. It's pretty great stuff. So let's set a goal or an intention. Okay, so you have your little oil mix ready and you have pen and paper and you're ready to get going on this journey. So I want you to set a goal out there. I have a greater relationship with my spouse or significant other. I am free of craving food, alcohol, cigarettes. Pick it. I achieve the following in my professional life by such and such a time. So create a sentence using the present tense, the more specific the better, and jot it down. And when you do that, what I want you to do is I want you to give it a number from 0 to 10 as to how likely you feel it is that you can reach this goal. So for you and yourself, and this is your own personal journey, what's the number of how likely this feels that this is? Okay, now we're back to the listen for objections. Good angel, bad angel. What's going on inside of you? And just be honest about this. The more honest you are, the quicker you're going to get to your goals. So don't judge whatever's coming up right now. But what's the bad cassette tape that's playing in your head? If I do that, I'll disappoint my husband, my spouse, my children. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't possibly do that. That's never going to happen. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have no idea how to do that. I don't have any willpower. Yeah, I've tried that before a lot of times. I failed. I'm going to fail again. Whatever the record playing is right now, just, again, write it down. And I'm well aware of the crazy that exists in our brain. I could do hours of talking out loud of some of the stuff I did, and I really do feel like I'm my own little comedy sitcom when I sit there and start judging the feelings that are coming up and chasing them around like a dog chasing its tail. So don't chase them, just write them down. Okay, step 3, identify the feelings. Get yourself to one word, not an expression. Get right to a word. Sad, guilt, shame, fear, hate, regret, hope, happiness, whatever comes up, put it in. Just how do you feel about that negative voice? What's it doing to you? Are you disappointed? Are you frustrated? Does it leave you hopeless? Put it down. Okay, you've identified the feeling. Now we're going back to the body again. So where are you feeling it in your body? Do a quick analysis from your head to your toe. Check your limbs, check your torso. Check your neck, check your shoulders. Where are you feeling this pain? Where are you feeling this negative feeling? Where's the tension? Has your posture changed? Check your posture. Become aware of the feeling and where it is in your body. Write it down. Okay, and for me, this is where it got really interesting. Step 5, do a little time travel. So allow yourself to get quiet and drift to an earlier time. It could be recent, it could be a long time ago, but you want to find a time in which you felt the same way. You have the same feeling. Find a snapshot or a movie of that time. And don't judge whether or not it's the right memory or not. The first one is the right one. And it might not be clear why this is coming up for you right now, but that's okay. Again, don't judge it, just feel it. Now, about 20% of folks doing this will not come up with an image or a memory in the first time. And it might be because it's stuff just buried too deep. You might be distracted. You might be trying too hard. But again, if no memory is coming up for you, then just focus on the feeling and where it is in your body. Step 6. Now we're going to take our essential oils. We're going to close our eyes, take our drops, rub, scent tent, nice and slow. Might need to do it a couple times. And as you're breathing in the frankincense, lavender, and stress away, what's going on is the oil starts disrupting the memory complex itself. So those negative voices, those programming that we have, we're actually breaking them down right now through our senses of smell and the limbic system. And the oil stimulates a new feeling, which is going to displace the previous negative feeling that we identified. And what's interesting is you can't get two feelings in the same space in the brain, so it dissolves the negative memory complex. Now, step 7, pay attention to the changes. Allow feelings to just pass through you as you smell the oil. And keep in mind that memories are like waves. No wave lasts forever. You may feel emotional. If you do, feel it, ride it through. Just pay attention to what's going on in the feelings in your body. Notice your thoughts. You may start to notice that the image is starting to recede or gets fuzzy. You might feel that the feeling that you were holding in your chest and your stomach starts to dissolve or lessen. Whatever occurs, just notice it. Pay attention to it. Once you've gotten a noticeable shift, we can move on to step 8. Notice new beliefs starting to come through. Maybe you're getting solutions. Maybe a creative spell's coming at you. Hopefully you're starting to see a little bit of light breaking through the memory. If you're getting any new creative ideas or a different perspective or a voice that's leading you in a different direction, again, jot it down. As the original image starts to fade and the feeling in your body starts to soften and the discomfort where you were holding it starts to break up, you might find that this original memory doesn't bother you as much anymore. That's what we're looking for. And you may also find that you just spontaneously start looking for a solution in ways you hadn't before. This is all good. Alternatively, what could happen is you might be feeling stuck in a completely different way that you weren't expecting through this. And that's okay too. So we've closed a channel, opened a channel, right? So it's not uncommon for that sort of domino linking effect. If that's the case, we'll do another round of clearing. Step 9, you want to go back and revisit your intention now. So state your initial intention out loud again and give it a number. So usually each time you do a round of this, the number goes up a couple points, right? Some people might have a huge jump, some people don't. Some may do this 2 or 3 times, jump up 2 or 3, go back 2 or 3, and then make a huge jump in the end. So the number that we're shooting for really is about an 8. So if you're less than an 8 at this point, then what you want to do is go back to the beginning, and we're going to start again with step 1, step 2, and take yourself through it again. And you want to keep repeating it until those negative voices are gone. And once those negative voices are gone, then you've successfully used the technique, and you've probably learned a ton about yourself in the process. So step 10. Step 10 is how we seal the deal. And you're going to need a new affirmation. And I loved when one of my girlfriends said to me, don't people realize when they talk out loud that their bodies can hear them? And I thought, yeah, that's very true, right? So let's go back to those kids telling the plants nice things or awful things. And we're far more complex with very sophisticated brains than a plant. So don't underestimate the impact of words. And framing this out with a new affirmation. So affirmations are I statements. They should be in the present tense. They should be positive and succinct. So the most succinct, right? So when sometimes we struggle with how do we put a word around this, Last week, the expression I heard was, I am, I can, right? Covers everything. I am, I can. But try and focus an affirmation if you can, specific to what your intention was. Some good ones are, I'm organized, efficient, and ready to do my business well today. I can do anything I set my mind to. I stay on top of important tasks and deadlines. I can choose who I spend my time and energy with. I can make choices in my life to eat better. Okay, so get your new affirmation. And if nothing comes or you're struggling with it, I am, I can works. You can borrow that. Now, knowing that words are powerful and that your body is listening, hopefully you'll take that to other aspects of your life and just be careful of the vocabulary and the language you use, because you do deserve the most positive words possible to support you. So now we got to anchor it, and we do that with muscle memory. So everybody has a power pose, okay? For everybody, it's very different. So some people, the power pose is, sort of that Olympic athlete, hands up over the head, fist pump. This girl, it's hands on hips. When my hands are on my hips, you know I mean business. So find your power pose. And this is where, once you've gotten this affirmation and you've got a feeling, you've got no more negative voices coming at you, you've gotten it to an 8 or greater, now you're going to seal the deal and take it home and get rid of this. And what you're going to do is, for 2 minutes in the morning and at night, stand in your power pose, and you're just going to say that affirmation out loud, repeatedly. Okay? I am, I can. I am, I can. And you're going to do that twice a day. How else can you reinforce this? A little Post-it note on your bathroom mirror, on your desk at work, on your steering wheel. Tell me about your wow, Miss Kristen. I would love to hear it. I am, I can, okay? Now, while I'm waiting for that, oh, I realize that's private, not public, so I'm not going to go in. So part of this, too, is I want to respect people's place and space and time in all of this in breakthroughs. My own breakthrough, and I shared this before, but I have to share it again, and this is why I found this to be so helpful. I have been a very successful businesswoman now for many, many years, and I have been very blessed with very generous income, and chose to walk away from it because it wasn't making me happy. And I was going through this for the very first time, and my intention that I put out there was I wanted to have a successful business. I wanted to feel fulfilled. I wanted to help people, and I wanted to be able to pay my bills, right? All reasonable stuff. And as I was going through the steps of this, and I did the whole memory piece, I was taken back into my mom's kitchen, and I could see my Uncle Fran, his wife, my grandmother, my siblings. My Uncle Fran's teasing me. He's trying on my brand new 2-piece bathing suit that I got at 5 years old. And if you had said to me that I had a memory at 5 years old, I'd have probably told you were nuts. And I'm watching this incredibly vividly, right? As vivid as you can see me, I can see this memory. And over to the left, I see my mom and dad arguing by the fridge about money. And so, this girl does not play poker. And I can only imagine my face as I'm looking at all this, but I'm going, what does that have to do with anything? And then, again, be patient with these memories as they come. And immediately it became almost like a flip book of all of my mother's out loud statements that she made throughout the course of my life about never pray for money. Bad things will happen to you. Ladies, don't discuss money. There was always this, the woman's place is in the home. All this stuff came up of things that she had said. Now, my mother obviously didn't do this to limit me or scar me, but those were beliefs that were very tightly held and consistent with her culture and how she was raised. And obviously, at 5 years old, I was hearing and recording those messages, and had a lot of guilt about earning money. And I got to tell you, even for the 20 years that I've been working and earning money, I always downplayed what I was making and tried to overcompensate and be generous because of all of this work. Like I somehow didn't deserve it. So pay attention to this stuff. You will learn some fascinating things about yourself. Now, at this point, if you're less than an 8, you're going back and you're starting all over again until you get yourself to an 8. So you may need to repeat, as you set goals, you might need to go through this 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. That's all right. It's not always going to work on the first try. But the final step of the process is the taking action. So now you've uncovered, you set a goal, you set an intention, you have a positive affirmation. Now you need to make a plan. So you take that notebook and you put your plan together of how you're going to do it. And you will be very pleasantly surprised to see how quickly you can be successful. And to me, the secret is as soon as you have mastered that goal, right? And I don't think you need 10. I don't think you need 3. I don't even know that you need 2. Get a goal, set the goal, succeed at reaching the goal, feel really good that you've just kicked something's butt, and go back in and tackle your next thing. But make an action plan. These things aren't going to happen just because you snip some oils. Take some time, make a list of the steps necessary to reach your goal, and then move on to your next. Okay? All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. I hope this was helpful to you. If you see this and you need oils, I'm happy to help. If you're part of my team and you would like me to send you any of this, any of these booklets or the links where you can buy any of this, please let me know. I truly am here to help, and I look forward to working with you with this amazingly simplistic technique. Have a good night.